Yes,
in
thank
your
you
hand
very much.
and you've been looking through.
As I said, good morning to your listeners. Yes, I first heard about it on television when a gentleman was discussing it on Joy FM. And I thought to myself, this was really a joke. My colleague have just handed over the document to me. I've now read it because here I've been told to even try and look at
the forward.
Yes, I've scanned through it, and as I said, it was a joke. Haven't seen it. I think this is a very big joke. I say that. I've just read through it.
It's a joke.
It's a very big joke. You can even see here telling her it's restricted.
Yeah, restricted.
Yes.
So they said it's a document that was there. It's not meant for public consumption.
Yes.
And someone came across it and they decided to leak it.
I think
that is why.
I think it's a very big joke. It doesn't even wear the paper it is written on.
Really?
It's a very,
why is
very
it a joke?
big joke.
Why is
there
it
are a number of things.
Like what?
If a group of people are really thinking about taking over Ghana, this will be a serious, highly secretive. And if they really have such a plan, no idiot will put such a plan in a complete document as it is being put here.
Well, it's a strategy. So
a strategy that is put this way is a very bad
document
strategy.
It's a blueprint, so they need to document it and follow it.
A strategy that is being
perhaps that's why they did it.
A strategy that is being put this way is a very bad strategy put together by a group of idiots who will not even be able to take over even a district of the country. They say that. Why would somebody who really intend in doing what they say they plan to do be able to put their thoughts together? How was it stored? How did it leak? You see, if you look at the various areas, especially just read the forward, I think this is an individual or group of people who decided that this is the right time to release such a document, such that they are able to control the minds of some of the electorate to vote in a particular way. And I think Ghanaians should not actually pay attention to this document at all. And if the idea is that Ghanaians should read this and then decide not to vote for the party because the person I know, the woman I know, and I've known him very well, having coming from the same town, there's no way this kind of document, he'll be part of such a plan. Or there's no way people with this plan will be able to control the affairs if he becomes president, when he becomes president of this country. So if the whole idea is about this election, this document has failed very well.
Well, it's not about this election.
No, I mean, if the whole essence of it is about this election, informing Ghanaians that...
but this was there before this election.
That's the claim.
I mean, as far back as 2017, people were talking about it.
Yes, of course. People can always... Conspiracy theories are there. I mean, just go to the internet.
Is that what this is, a conspiracy theory?
Of course. Just go to the internet. In fact, if you listen to conspiracy theories about a group of people who are really controlling the world, that they sometimes have conferences in the Netherlands, in the Hague, they go somewhere.
The Illuminati.
The Illuminati, especially when you see people like Bill Gates, some of the billionaires, whenever they are meeting at a particular point, you see this kind of conspiracy theory.
They run the world.
Yes, they run the world. Exactly. I mean, this document, just read it. Just read it.
What are some of the things that you find ridiculous about this document?
Oh, taking over banks, preparing Ghana not just for themselves, but even their unborn children.
Yeah, but some will say that some of those things have happened.
What has happened?
If someone had a blueprint that we are going to take over banks, and then down the line, there's a banking sector cleanup. A lot of indigenous banks have gone under and consolidated into, the Consolidated Bank of Ghana. Some people would argue that the reason to take over some of the banks didn't even make sense. Among other things, they'll say that has happened.
Let me tell you.
So it gives credence to this conspiracy.
Let me tell you something very interesting about me, and then related to this document.
Okay.
I'm a practicing lawyer. I'm a qualified lawyer, both in Ghana and England. But I'm not just a lawyer. I've been a mental health nurse for 18 years.
Oh, wow.
There are a group of mental health people called schizophrenia, people with schizophrenia. When they have a certain belief, and the belief is very fixed, So it can manifest itself in a form of paranoia or hallucinations. As they move on and they try to prove to you that their belief is real, they are able to pinpoint certain isolated things
and link
that give credence to their particular belief.
I see.
But it doesn't mean those beliefs are real. One can always point, I'm not saying that NDC or whoever is believing in this document is schizophrenia. It was just an example I was giving to you. How some people, when they have a strong belief, and that strong belief is so fixed, they even try to convince you. In fact, I used to nurse a patient in the past whose mother has schizophrenia. This particular mother was able to believe, to make the children to believe that certain things were crawling. So I believe it's akin to...
She's suffering from schizophrenia.
Yes.
And she was able to make
convince
her
people,
children believe that.
Look for evidence and keep trying to do it. And people keep listening to you. You might be able to get some few followers who will believe it. For me, this document is akin to such a story. We shouldn't give credence to this document at all. It doesn't wear the paper
disregard
is
it
written.
and treat it with all the
Somebody
contempt
who
that
really
it deserves.
wants such a plan will not put their thoughts together this way. Because we live in a human society.
Is it not well put? Is it not well structured, well thought out, well put together?
Well, it's well structured by people who wants to do mischief. Okay. For me, having read it, it doesn't wear the paper is written on.
Okay.
And we should surely disregard it. And if it is prepared or it's released at this time because of this election to convince some people,
well, it wasn't released now. It wasn't released
dead on arrival. Well, the emphasis is now when we are just heading towards the election. The emphasis is now. If it is not released now, such a document would have been a very damning document. Why was it not given the same fanfare as we are discussing it now? Why was it not discussed then? What is the intent in promoting it now? That is the very thing I'm talking to.
Right.
Thank you.
Alifu, let me come to you. Yeah. Do you believe that this is a credible document, or is just somebody's fictional, somebody's just sitting down and just putting anything?
My approach to this is that, and thank God my colleague didn't read the document, and in fact he hadn't known about the document previously until he hadn't seen it until now. That's what he's saying. Yeah. So perhaps it would have changed his mind, or something would have just triggered his mind to think that, well, it's not exactly the way he's looking at it. Look, all of us are not too sure about the source of this document.
Yeah, nobody knows where it came from.
Yes, and so I am not even going to dwell so much on the source, but I'm going to look at the contents and the implementation, whether those things are happening. That is what we should be interested in. That is why when my colleague, when he's talking about people, when they have beliefs and they put the beliefs down and they try to find isolated evidence to support the beliefs, to make people believe and all of that. Well, when they
engaging in conspiracy theory.
Yeah, when they just have such beliefs and those beliefs are not realistic, and they will try to look for evidence to support it, they may not get the evidence. But in this case, we are getting the evidence. You see, he alluded to some of the general the premises that were established when he read. They will first of all set out what they want to do. Like, we want to take over the banking sector, and then you read that, and it sounds bogus. How would somebody want to take? That's what he did. But you also have to look at the way they intend to do it. What is it that they want to do? What in their what do they envisage as taking over the banking sector? What are the activities? When you look at those activities, then you will see specific steps, specific measures, and then you can now come and relate and find out whether those measures are being taken at all. That is it. There's one thing I have said over and over again when Dr. Bawumia was elected as the flag bearer of MPP. Mm-hmm. But then, and again, my friends should understand that this document has been in existence very long ago. In fact, before, I think just around the time MPP took over power, that was when this document came. Before we started even looking at whether these things, the contents of the document will be implemented or not. So, yes, but when Bawumia, even that time I didn't read this document. I said that Dr. Bawumia was railroaded, was imposed on MPP, because I said that I looked at how MPP chose their flag bearers from Professor Dubois in his time to Kufuor to Akufo-Addo. You would see there's a trend, a clear trend, and then Dr. Bawumia. And then so if you go by
but
that
the same
trend,
thing happened, right?
No, I'm saying that
they went for primaries.
No,
they voted and they voted for Dr. Bawumia.
You go for primaries, but just going for primaries for the optics. Yes, we all go for primaries. But I'm saying that
there are contestants in the primaries.
No, we make things look too simple, and I don't. You see, I know that when you guys when you host programs, you try to play devil's advocate or you try to ask a question. But sometimes you can be critical yourself and see that primaries are always organized. But there are people who call the shots. There are people who do things behind, who make things happen the way they want things to happen.
Are you saying for time?
Fighting
with Allah.
Let me just make the point. When you were speaking, I wanted to come in. Okay. I'm saying that Edubuahin, we saw it, whether somebody did whatever. We all knew how Professor Edubuahin, and it was very clear to everybody that Professor Edubuahin was going to be the flag bearer, and then he indeed became the flag bearer. And then Kufuor had contested about 2-3 times, and he became. So we all saw Kufuor like, that's the way they do their things. And then we saw Nana Akufo-Addo. In fact, Nana Akufo-Addo and Alan had contested Nana Akufo-Addo about 3 times. I think 2 times major primaries, and then there was supposed to be a run-up, and he said that, no, I'll just give it to you. I don't want us to go through this contest. It was very obvious. Then all of a sudden, Dr. Bawumia came. Dr. Bawumia's whole political adventure is owed to Nana Akufo-Addo.
So are you saying that Dr. Bawumia also should have, been in the party and also struggled,
He's a newcomer, complete newcomer. That's what I'm saying.
What if the people want him?
No, the people, you see, don't just say, you see.
MPP people want him.
Let me tell you something. If you say MPP people want him, you see, when Professor Edubuahin was chosen as a MPP flag bearer, no leading member of the party defected or resigned. Mm-hmm. When Kufuor was chosen as the flag bearer, no MPP leading member defected or resigned. When Nana Akufo-Addo was chosen, no MPP member resigned. How come?
We're told that.
No MPP member. No MPP member.
We're told that Alan resigned before.
Yes, Alan didn't.
Then he came back into the party.
Why did he resign? Alan didn't resign because he wasn't chosen as a flag bearer.
Yes.
No. That was not the case.
Because of the flag bearer issues between Alan and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. At the time, we were told that Alan wanted to leave.
If he complained, if he had listen. No, but let me flow. Let me just say because otherwise.
Flow.
You see, I am saying that you can ask the question, not him though. Okay. I'm saying so. I'm not saying you should let me to flow. Okay. You can ask the question. I am saying that. You see, if Alan had attempted to resign, and I heard about all that before.
And he did, but he stayed in the party eventually.
Yes, because
it will not be the first time that Alan has done that.
It's not
even
about
with Akufo-Addo.
But we need to know the reason why he had wanted to even resign. Because he didn't resign, it didn't come out so clearly.
The same reason.
You can't just say
flag bearer
race. You are speculating.
Which didn't go well.
No.
And then he decided to leave.
No. Which one? Which
flag bearer race?
Which particular flag bearer race made it
between him and what's it called? Nana Addo Dankwa.
No, you see, you are not even sure yourself because I'm saying that. The latest,
that's what I'm saying.
You see, the latest flag bearer race. The latest. It's not true.
No, he didn't resign, but there were rumors that he wanted to. That's what I'm saying.
But those rumors, it's just rumors. We don't know about that. We don't know about that. Let's just deal with the facts. Let's just deal with the facts. He was in the party. He contested. In fact, the latest flag bearer race between him and Nana Akufo-Addo was the one that led Nana Akufo-Addo to win to become the president.
Yes,
and that one he didn't. He even said that I would not even go for the second round.
Yes.
So at what stage, if they said they had wanted to resign, perhaps then it might have been the one before that one. Mm-hmm. You see, so he didn't resign, and the party still entertained him, and he contested. Another one, that's the subsequent one, and then he lost to, and then nobody got a 50% plus one, and they were going to go for a second round, and he said that look, let me curtail this, let's not just go through.
Yeah. And he supported Akufo-Addo.
Yes, Akufo-Addo, and so at that time everybody saw that this man is a very nice gentleman. He contested this number of times, and if you look at our history back, obviously he was going to come. But
let's bring it back to this.
Yes, we are bringing it back. So what I was trying to say is that you see, I said that, and I have said over and over again that Dr. Bawumia was just forced on NPP because the establishment, Nana Akufo-Addo, the government, and the Achim guys in the government thought that Dr. Bawumia should come for 2 reasons. I kept on.
Is it all in the Japadia?
Yes, it is. That is what I want to confirm to my friend right now. You see, and I'm saying that at that time I didn't read this, but I was saying that the 2 reasons is that one, because they wanted somebody who will come and protect the government, all the things that they have done. And because I have said that Dr. Bawumia owes his whole political adventure to Nana Akufo-Addo. He was the one that brought him from Bank of Ghana to come and enter into politics. He's his mentor. He will be his poodle in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, he will do whatever Nana Akufo-Addo
asks
him to do.
As to that,
I know. Yeah, I think
now
so.
he's vice president, so maybe yes, he will do what Nana Akufo-Addo asks him to do.
Well,
as flag bearer, Nana Akufo-Addo can't tell him what to do.
Well, because he, even becoming a flag bearer,
as president, Nana Akufo-Addo can't tell him what to do.
I'm saying that becoming a flag bearer itself, they played a major role in it. And in fact, look, when they were going for their race, out of I believe there were about 7 or 9 or so. When all of them, except Bawumia, they were opting or they were suggesting for a particular procedure to be followed. Mm-hmm. All of them signed that we wanted this. It was only Bawumia who said he didn't want it that way, and the party went Bawumia's way. Then Ajako, when they were, I think Ajako was the one that resigned first, and then later on, Alan Tremanti, because he saw the whole thing. He saw that they were whipping up government appointees, they were whipping up functionaries, all of them to support Bawumia. And now, so that is the first thing, because he's coming to protect the government. He's never going to hold the appointees of Akufo-Addo to any accountability. He's not going to. They are still worship. It's just the looting
so
that everybody.
So that's why you believe they strategically.
That is one. Then the second one is that
Dr. Bawumia.
The second one is that I think that there was this general perception that MPP is an account party.
Yeah.
And so they thought that, well, if we can bring a non-account to head the ticket now, then that notion will be dispelled a little bit. Now look at I think this paragraph, maybe paragraph 2 of the forward of the.
Paragraph 12.
12, right?
Of the forward.
I said what I'm seeing on my phone is 2. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be 2. If you say 12, fine. I am saying that I didn't go through the document critically, but there's a paragraph there you can see. It starts with the word although.
So you are reading this from
in the forward, yes. So let me just.
You are reading this from the so-called Ejapadia document.
Yes, Ejapadia document. So this is what it says. Although the Asante group within the current MPP is gearing itself to take over the party after Nana's tenure in 2024, it would be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. With hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to a non-account person, preferably from the north, under whose presidency we could secure the maturity of our takeover project. Now, this is what they have said. You see, for somebody like me who believed that Dr. Bawumia didn't have any strong root in MPP to be able to commandeer the masses to vote for him as much as he got. And so I believe that, well, it was worked out for him by Nana Akufo-Addo and Gabi and Oforeta and all of that. If you read this, I'll believe it. So I am saying that, look, I'm not even going to go into the source of this document and rubbish it and say because I don't know the source, it is the imagination of some people. I'm just going to look at the contents. And since... In any case, again, my friend has to understand that this document, the reason why this document didn't gain traction for a very long time is that, a lot of people were doubting the source and the authenticity of the document for a very long time. And so people were talking about it. Myself, I didn't want to pay much attention. That's why I am not very familiar with everything in the document because I haven't read it till now. So we all say, well, why would somebody... But if it's a plan, you see, there's nothing wrong even if you are trying to get a bad plan. You want to follow a bad plan, you can write it down. So the right thing to say that nobody in his good senses, that it's a strategy. If it's a strategy, if it's a blueprint, you have to write it, because if you don't write it, how can you monitor to see if you are really going by what you want to do? So they can write it, but the leakage is the thing. The fact that they wrote it down doesn't mean that they were expecting that to be leaked to the general public. So again, this document was there. In fact, it's been there for a very long time.
So
the reason why
you believe the documents?
Yes, I believe the contents of the document.
So you believe that it's a deliberate attempt by some people who are of Achim descent.
Yes, I believe.
Achim
yes, by reading
to capture the country.
Yes,
you sincerely believe that.
I do. But let me make. I was explaining something to him that because he's saying why now and he's trying to link it to this election. And that's what I wanted to explain to you.
You have linked it to the election.
Not this election right now.
Okay, I will explain.
No. If you are trying to maybe make reference to the paragraph I read and say
okay.
I didn't write it. I didn't author this document, so you can't say that I'm linking
you
it.
Reference
Yes, because it's there. I'm only trying to explain to you that the reason why this document is being discussed why this radio station is discussing the first time today, why it was on TV3, why it's everywhere, is because the is it Ochihini?
Yeah, the Ochihini.
Ochihini spoke about it.
Yeah, the Ochihini said it's just to cause disaffection for Ochimai.
He spoke about it.
No, somebody said it on Joy.
Yeah, no, he spoke about it first. In fact, he spoke about it before even the president spoke about it. Okay. So the two events
that brought in Joy who came to speak about it.
No, I don't know, but I'm saying that
I watch it.
For me, the two events that brought this into issue, a complete issue now, why most of the media houses are discussing it today is because of the Ochihini and President Akufo-Addo's pronouncements on it. They have brought it, and it's a good thing. And now everybody is looking for the document to read, to see what is in it. And after they read and see what is in it, I would urge people not to think about the source, whoever wrote it. Maybe it's a prophet somewhere.
Why should we not think about
it? The source, but if you are thinking about the source, you see, if you are thinking about the source
is important.
So then you forget about it. So you wouldn't mind about the content. Is that what you are saying? The source and the content, which one is more important? Because the source, once you didn't see me.
But is it everything in there, or is just coincidences?
All of these things will be coincidences.
You know, people can predict, and I've also heard.
Yeah, so if they predict,
I've also heard that this document, which is in circulation, the ones which was in circulation, say in 2016, in 2017. Is not the same as the one which is in circulation now, because if you do a comparison, some people have actually gone in and edited certain
they have to tell us
parts of it to suit some events that have happened. I have heard that.
The reason why I will not. You see what you have heard.
Let me reply.
What you have heard.
Hold on. The reason why I'm saying is because me, the very first time I went through this, I had heard of it. The first time I went through this, the Japadia document was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's the very first time I actually, looked at it. And I just skimmed through because I never really bothered to go and look at it because I thought, for politicians, I'll not put anything past them. They can do anything if it is going to give them political capital. So isn't it possible that is what
the seat you are sitting on, where you are sitting?
Yes.
You see, where you are sitting is very important that when you put information out, people would take that information to be more genuine, more authentic. So if you are saying that you heard people saying that it's been edited, they have to tell us. You have to tell us which part was written originally and how it was edited. If without that, then don't.
Yeah, I don't know that because I hadn't seen which one was there in 2017 which one is there.
So you can't over here with none of us. I'm just saying, none of us has said so.
Yeah, so I'm just putting across some of the arguments that people have said.
Yeah, but we have to
discredit.
This document. You see, but let me make the last point.
Yes, the last point. Let me come to Mr. Johnson.
Yes, you see the fact that people, especially people who are affiliated to NPP, pick this document and say that this document is rubbish. It cannot be. Means that they think that the contents of this document is not good. It's horrible. That no government should aspire to do anything like this. That is what it means. Okay, if that is what it means, and I am saying that, okay, fine, I am more interested to see if the contents are really being implemented, then we should all be interested in it. We should be interested to see whether they are implementing the contents. And if they are implementing the contents, in fact, assuming that it's even me, Lawyer Alifo, I was the one who wrote this document, just by my imagination. Everybody can say that I'm stupid and I wrote this document. Yes, fine, I wrote the document, but why won't we find out whether indeed what I have written is being implemented? If it's being implemented, then we have to tell whoever is implementing it and say that foolish thing that they wrote, that is what you are doing and it is wrong. You are not interested in seeing, look, they have talked about how SSNIT was going to be taken over. In fact, they actually mentioned the name of the Director General of SSNIT right now. What's his name? Osafo Mafo's. They mentioned him. They mentioned his Nkrumah's wife. That was at EcoBank that they are working for to become the managing director of EcoBank. They mentioned several things that people are. And I have heard a lot of commentary, people quoting various parts, and these are. But it is your own people who have brought this back in issue, Nana Akufo-Addo. And I believe that because the heat was becoming too much for them, they saw that the exposure was too much for them. And so Ochihini had to speak about it when he met his chiefs. And then Nana Akufo-Addo himself has to speak about it. And now the focus is on the document. And Bawumia is just going to be a tool. I would not believe that. And from what you said, I would not believe that Bawumia sat with anybody to hatch these plans. No, he will not. That is not what anybody would say. But I'm saying that, look, Bawumia is the one they have made because they said we are looking for a non-account person to take over the party. And then under Bawumia, they can protect and they can make sure that they achieve the total of that. Look, it talks about even how they are going to take over the whole judiciary.
All of that. So, all right.
Let me respond quickly. I need to come to Mr. Jantua to hear what Mr. Jantua has also got to say. about this. And of course, definitely you get a chance to respond. Mr. Jantua, this is your copy of the Japadia document.
It is not my copy.
It's whose copy?
I printed it.
When?
I've had this document since 2017.
Yes particular one?
Yes.
Since 2017.
Since 2017, and so far nothing has changed.
Okay.
Nothing has changed.
So it's not true what they are saying that it's been edited.
It is up to those who want to say it is edited.
Okay.
But nothing has changed.
All right. So you've had this since 2017,
yes,
and from 2017, nothing has changed.
Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
Why would the president even bring this up? This thing was dying its natural death.
They were talking about misinformation and disinformation. So, I mean, he brought it up because he believes that this is disinformation.
You think so?
The pressure was becoming too much.
You think so? Let me ask you a question. Do Ghanaians trust the president?
I don't know.
Do Ghanaians trust the president?
Some do, some don't.
They do.
How many trust the president?
Well, they've trusted him.
How many Ghanaians trust the president? I shall protect the public purse. Has the public purse been protected? I am too old to steal your money. I already have my money. What's happened to our finances today? The people.
Well, but we don't know if the president has stolen money.
Wait. We don't know.
Yeah.
But looking at the appointments he's made, family. Are there no family members in his government?
Yeah, he said he won't do family and friends government.
How many?
But there are quite a number.
Yet the come DA. Are we still not hungry? Did he not say that? Try me and see. Are people happy with his governance? I am not corrupt. I will never be corrupt. That one is a question mark. That one I can't say. I can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is here. What has happened? What is our debt today as we stand? I will transform Ghana in 18 months. Is Ghana transformed? I will fight corruption with the Anas principle. Has corruption been fought by the so-called Anas principle that he touted? I will make the Korle Lagoon and Odo River tourist sites. Are they tourist sites today? I will give each constituency 1 million every year. Have constituencies got $1 million every year? Have they? I will arrest the dollar. Where's the exchange rate today? Where's the cedi today? I will make Accra the cleanest city in the whole of Africa. Has it happened? I will build 111 district hospital in 18 months. And now they are telling us that by the end of December, the number that they are going to give us will not be 111. I will build 350 new secondary schools from scratch. Has it happened?
A lot.
We will. There's a figure 350
from scratch.
From scratch. We will never go to the IMF for a bailout. Has it happened? And then he tells us that we will never have haircuts. Has it happened?
There will be no haircuts.
So
that's what he said.
Was there haircut?
Yes.
So can we trust the president? So if the president is coming to tell us about this document that is false, based on his own history, can you trust him? Number two, if you say this document is false, is conspiracy, is being done by the opposition, whose picture is on there?
I mean, but it can still be done.
Whose picture is? Wait. Please.
It doesn't matter.
Listen to me, La.
I'm listening, Mr. Johnson.
Whose picture is on there?
That's the Ochehini.
Whose picture is in here?
That's the president.
With who else?
The Ochehini and JB Dankwa.
Who has signed? So-called.
I'm seeing Oforiata. That's what I see.
The president is a lawyer. Why haven't they taken it to court? Character assassination.
By who? Take who to court?
You are trying to tell me. You are trying to tell me that Ghana today, our national intelligence cannot find out who did this document. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know.
Well,
no. Please. Is that what you're trying to tell me? That you want to find something out today, you can't find it out in Ghana today? Our national intelligence is so weak. can't do nothing that they can't find it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because if our national intelligence is weak, then we are all in trouble. We are all in trouble. Let the president and those who are in here take it to court. They will be able to find. And when you look at how this thing is structured, unfortunately, it cannot be a coincidence.
How is it structured?
The similarities are just too much.
Example.
Oh. Example is one that Eric read. Example is one. Doesn't the MPP have a convention? Isn't there a convention, the MPP, from, what do you call it? The Dubois time? Yes, they go to primaries. They go to primaries. President Akufo-Addo
MPP went to primaries.
Wait, I'm not saying they don't go to primaries. They go to primaries. That's why, listen to me, counsel.
Okay.
They go to primaries. Didn't President Akufo-Addo, wasn't he told to step down for President Kufuor?
He was.
Wasn't he? Akufo-Addo, Kufuor, wasn't he told to step down for what do you call it? Edubuahene. When what do you call it? Akufo-Addo also came they went to primaries. What did Chermatin say? He was pushed upon to step down. He stepped down. There is a convention in the party.
So Dr. Bawumia should have stepped down.
That is from my father's time.
For Alan?
I said that is from my father's time. Now, when you come to Vice President Bawumia, how long has he been in the party for? When he came into the MPP, did he have a party card? Did he have a party card? And for somebody to, if I tell you you are MPP, would you say yes? You say no. If I tell you NDC, would you say yes? You say no. If I tell you a CPP, you say no. Because the next question you ask me, do I have party card? So party card is the proof that you are a member of the party. No, be so.
But people can be
sympathizers. No, I said no. You can be sympathizer. I'm not a member. They're two different things.
Right.
If I'm a sympathizer, I can't come and sit here and talk for the party.
Yes.
I'm a sympathizer. So when did he get a party card? No, be 8 years ago. Huh? No, be 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yes.
I think when he was brought in.
When he was brought in. When was he brought in?
It wasn't 8 years ago. It was about 16 years ago.
Okay,
2007.
okay, wait.
It's more than 8 years.
Forgive me. I withdraw that. So when was he brought in?
About
2007, 2008.
2007,
about 16 years ago.
Yeah.
How long has Chermatin been in the party?
He's
He's a founding member.
Yeah.
Founding member.
Yeah, Chermatin is a founding member.
If you are going according to the convention in the party, if you are going according to that convention in the party, what went wrong? What went wrong? And that now brings credence to what is in here. You see, Ghana, we tend to overlook so many things. And then down the road, it comes to bite us. President Akufo-Addo is the leader of this country. Such a, if you call it conspiracy document, has been written about you and about your strategy. Don't you take it on? Do you come and stand at a gathering and say the things you say? Take it on for Ghanaians to see you've taken it on. You have nothing to do about it. And for me, I will say, if really and truly you say you have nothing to do about it, let's see that you take it on. Let's see. Because when you look at some of the things that have happened, when you look at some of the things that have happened, it's listed there plenty. Can't be coincidence.
Tell us some.
It can't be coincidence.
Tell us some.
Oh.
From the first page.
There are so many.
I see that you are holding a Japadia.
I summarized it.
Okay, so if you go onto our Facebook,
let me tell counsel.
Hold on.
Okay. No, wait. Let me tell counsel. Me, I like doing my things pepepe. Okay. I haven't summarized. I've taken it from this to make sure that whatever I say, there is evidence.
Did you compile that yourself?
From this.
You compile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what? So for those who are listening, if you go to our Facebook live stream, you'd see. If you go to our Facebook live stream,
read it.
You'd see that Mr. Jantwa has compiled a document of things that were said in the Japadia document, and he has compiled the list of things that have happened or things that are
And
in
I'm not the
progress.
only one who has this.
So it's
document.
a Japadia project update. So this one is something that you did yourself,
Yes.
Mr. Janto. Okay. So
Yes,
I'm showing it to the cameras on our Facebook live stream. So if you want to see it, you can go and look at it. So let me read a little bit of it. So it says, Central Bank activates change in leadership. Remarks taking over. Status completed. Security and Exchange Commission changes in leadership taking over completed. Data Bank Financial Service transaction advisor and major government deals taking over.
True or false?
Kelny GVG completed. Unipass completed. Power District PDS failed through resistance from general public. Okay. Ejapa Management taking over completed. Bank of Ghana governor strongly aligned. First deputy strongly aligned. Second deputy not a source of discomfort. Hey. Bank of Ghana replacement with strong Baumia loyalist in progress.
Do you remember you talk about
War
editing
fund,
it?
banking cleanup completed.
Listen.
Consolidated.
Listen.
Okay, so all of these
Listen.
things that you talk about are
Listen.
mentioned in the Japadia documents and have been completed.
It has followed. It has followed. It has followed. The strategy in there has followed that. And let me tell you, this particular situation we are talking about is strategic, and it's not only. And listen, this entire thing, we cannot point fingers at the Achim people. Don't let us make that mistake. Don't let us make that mistake. It's got to do with a small group of people within the MPP who are Achim and who are interested in using others to achieve what they want to achieve. And when you even read parts of the foreword, it talks about how they can strategize and even use some Ashantis, because when you read parts of the foreword, it indicates that from time immemorial they have been what the top class, and others have come to impose themselves on them. And now Nana has come. He is going to make sure that what is theirs they get. And I've just paraphrased. Read it. Look, let's not take things. We take things for granted in this country so much.
So you believe this is an actual plan and an actual blueprint
it's not that
was authored by some people in the Achim area
I said not that
and the
I
NPP
believe. I'm going according
to
what I am reading. I'm going according to what I'm reading, and I'm saying those whose names have been mentioned, they should take it to court. They should do something about it to clear their name. For once, a revered chief like Ochehine, why should they put him in this thing? Why should they? And don't you think if this happened to Otumfuo won't take it on? Otumfuo won't take it on to clear whatever mischief, and you're trying to tell me Otumfuo won't even find out where this document comes from? You just can't come and tell us that, it's what you call it. You can't. He's the president of this country. And if he wants to stop this kind of thing, he should take action for us to see. Take action for us to see. And let's stop playing this kind of politics thing. It's a serious document. Nobody should underestimate it. Nobody should. And we shouldn't do that on our media stations, because Ghanaians are listening to us. Ghanaians would like to get to the bottom of this. And let me tell my fellow council here, this document just didn't appear. And this document has been quiet for all these years. It's the president who went to mention it and brought it up again. Hence, we are discussing it today.
No, really,
here.
I watched Joy News.
When?
A gentleman there, about almost a week ago.
This has been here for more than a week.
But do you know when
This
Ochehine
has been here for more than a week.
spoke about it? It was more than a week ago.
I saw a gentleman in Joy. Okay, can I respond to both of them?
Let me tell you something. And I'll tell you from my own tradition of the CPP.
Yeah.
Look, the Dombo, Buzia, Dankwa tradition have never forgiven Nkrumah for what Nkrumah did. Never. They've never. They never thought Nkrumah would be able to do what he did, come out of the UGCC and move this country forward. Hence, right now the president is trying to do equalization of founders.
Could I respond to
when
of them?
please let me finish, please. When you were talking, I was quiet.
Okay.
Don't be in a hurry, we have time. When Muhammad Polo, is that, no, not Muhammad Polo, the other Polo, what's his name?
Which one?
Oh, the two brothers, their father. The two brothers in the Black Stars.
Are you?
Abedi
Pele.
And Abedi Pele.
Yeah.
When Abedi Pele is playing, he is in the front, and those at the back are doing their work, and they quickly are able to pass the ball to Abedi Pele, and he scores. Whose name do they mention?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a question. Don't deviate. Whose name do they mention? Do they say those who passed for him are the ones who scored?
They mentioned the goal scorers.
So who gave independence to Ghana?
Kwame Nkrumah.
So there goes your what you call it.
Okay, so I'm looking at this, and Mr. Janto, you said you've had this since 2017.
I'm not the only one. I've had this document since 2017.
Since 2017.
Yes, this document.
Okay. A portion of the document which I find curious, for which also makes people say that a portion of it has been edited, is let me read this. Not to give it any credence on my part, because, well, I still don't know whether it is accurate or it is propaganda. But it says, media landscape. So a portion of the document reads, we envisage that the role of I don't know whether I'll be held for defamation.
That's really
you are lawyers here. I don't know whether I'll be held for defamation if I should put out there, because it's mentioning people's names in here.
No, read it.
You know, it's mentioning people's names in here, because I don't want to be.
No,
I have 3 lawyers here,
if
so
you like,
please advise me.
If you like, I can read it for you.
Please advise me.
I don't. There's not. You are reading the document.
I want to insulate myself and my media organization from any possible defamation suits. But okay, you let me tread cautiously. It's okay.
Let me read it for you. No, let me read it. Look. If you are scared,
no, but it's still on.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
It's in the document.
All right.
It's in the document.
So am I allowed? I mean,
yes. Go ahead.
I'm allowed. I think it's in the public interest.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Fine.
Yes.
That's fine. So it says we envisage the role of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. We envisage that the role of Kojo Oppong Nkrumah would continue to be crucial in our quest to dominate the Ghanaian media landscape. He was super when planted around some big weights of the erstwhile Mahama Mills government. While at Joy FM, his secret recordings from the then government illuminated our discussions and greatly influenced our strategy, which culminated in the landslide victory of 2016. No wonder that Gabi made every effort for the young man to be promoted to the office of Substantive Information Minister. This is more so when we cannot vouch for the credibility and loyalty of Dr. Mustafa Hamid at crucial times. He, Mustafa, was the longest serving spokesperson of Nana, but were shocked when Nana caught him stealing campaign cash in some critical opposition era. So this is speaking to events that have already happened. If this was authored before Kojo Oppong Nkrumah became information minister, I mean, how? So this is some of the reasons why people are saying that this document is being edited as and when it goes.
Document in 2017.
Because in 2017, hold on. In 2017, in 2017, wait. What I'm reading is inside. I can show it to you. Hold on, Mr. Janto, let me finish.
No, let me explain.
Mr. Janto, let me finish. No, I'll let you come. I'll give you time. I'll give you time. Let me just make my point. No, let me land on my point, Mr. Janto, please, with your indulgence. I beg you. So what I'm saying is that if I look, and the portion I've read is actually inside the Japadia document, the one that I cited, right? So in 2017,
can you show me it and I'll narrow
no,
it
it's
down.
there. In 2017,
let me show you.
Yeah, we'll show you. In 2017, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah was not information minister,
so that is why I want.
And nobody knew.
Listen,
nobody knew that he was going to even become information minister eventually. He became information minister eventually after 2020 when Mustafa left. But this one is saying that no wonder Gabi made every effort for the young man to be promoted to the office of substantive information minister. So this suggests that this portion in the Japadia document was written after
Listen,
had become information minister.
Let me tell you what
But it's in the Japadia document.
So
how do we give credence to it?
Wait. This document is a strategic document. This particular bit is not in there. It's a strategy. What
but I saw it.
Wait. What did they try to do?
What did they try to do with GBC? It's not here.
What did they try to do with GBC?
Document.
No, wait, Eric. Okay. What did they try to do with GBC? They tried to take some of their channels from them, didn't they? Wasn't it tried?
I think they've all spoken longer than me.
Wasn't it tried? Wasn't it tried?
Yes, it was.
It was tried. And what happened? Is that not part of the strategy?
But let me
all right.
let me
come back to you. Let me come back to you.
Question you're asking. Let me just 1 second. I understand that there's a volume 1 or whatever part 1 and part 2 of the Ejapadie.
Yeah.
So let's take that also into account. It's possible that the second part was the second part was after the government had come in, has started implementing.
Okay.
So that could have taken care of.
Was a review.
Yes, it could have taken care of.
Because the Japadia document that was sent
can I come in now?
The Japadia document that was sent to me, because I had said it on GH1 TV that it's something that I have not looked at before. I think I was talking to Bernard Mona.
As a media man, you should have read it.
Yeah, because so the one that was sent to me, I saw this in and I was like, if this is something which was authored in 2017, how then do they know? It doesn't tally.
Strategy,
right?
It's a strategic.
It's a hack.
Let me come in now.
Nobody has referred you to two documents.
I think both.
Nobody has referred me to two documents.
Yes, that would have helped you to see that.
Nobody has referred me to two documents.
Yes, so
but
possibly
it's a hack.
Okay,
it's a hack. Yes,
I think both of you have spoken lengthily, and because I opened, I was accused by my counsel here that because I have not read the document, maybe my opening remarks was a bit uninformed. Having been informed by both counsel, I've realized that there is a motive for preparing this document. Why am I saying there is a motive surrounding this document? First, he mentioned about the way the MPP primaries was conducted. It was conducted in such a way that it will further what plan was put in place in this document. And you can see that the NDC as a party keeps shifting. Instead of them actually talking about how they conduct their primaries, which is actually worse than the MPP, they kept putting their nose about how MPP conducted their primaries. Before the primary was conducted, in fact, as far back 3-4 years ago, the common narrative from the NDCs was that MPP would never select a northerner as a flag bearer. That it would never happen. Yes. That the whole plan of taking Bawumia as a running mate was to use him and dump him. That they would never use a non-account person. The MPP have now chosen a non-account person, and they have shifted to a different reason. Apparently because there is a plan by Akims to capture the state. They have put in place Bawumia to further that particular interest. This is a completely change. And as counsel read, was it paragraph 12? He said it was paragraph 3. And document.
I didn't say it was.
He said it was in there.
He said
he wasn't too sure of
Yes, you could see the forward. He told us the reason why this document was prepared. The reason is that they want to foster disunity among Akan's group, in particular, Akims and Ashantis, in such a way that they will probably think, okay, we are not going to vote for Bawumia because Bawumia is in federance with any evil plan put in place by Akim people. And we realize it. And as you said, this document, as Shiraito said, is being edited. It's being edited. Because if he said he had a possession of the document in 2017, the same document is now talking about the selection of, what they call it, the selection of Kojo Mpongu Nkrumah.
This is a strategy. That is not in this document. It's a strategy that is being used.
Look,
when you have a strategy, you implement the strategy.
The motive, this document was probably prepared not by a good strategist. This document was prepared by somebody who perhaps I've listened to both of you. You are well informed.
Read it for you. The answer is the document
is prepared by somebody who suffered from schizophrenia.
I'm sure we are going to have the full complement of the document, all the various documents, because
the president should take it to court is a mere waste of time. It's not everything you take to court. I mean, how do you even get somebody who is hiding behind the scene? If that person really thinks...
Let me read something for you.
Let me
read something for you. For you to be able to understand.
Let me finish my point. I think you've indicated me enough about the document for me to be able to make an informed...
But read it for yourself.
Yes.
Then you get to know better.
So, if the president... It doesn't wait time of the president or the Ochihini. It's not everything you have to take to court. Because if you look at it...
Character assassination.
No, it's not. Made by somebody who probably had schizophrenia. The document, the plan is even a poor document.
Schizophrenia.
The plan is even...
That is what you are assuming.
The plan is
an assumption is not a fact.
Look at it. It's poorly prepared.
Oh,
it's edited as time goes by. Anybody who has a credible plan to capture the state will not put their thoughts this way. The thoughts are poorly put across. And as you said, it's being edited to reflect ongoing process. Thinking the rest of us are idiots just to be convinced.
I want to do the next topic.
This is just a conspiracy theory, and we should not even worry about it. It's a waste of time.
But isn't it worrying that some of the things that you see in there that have happened?
There's nothing that has happened. Look, Akims, or whether you like it or not,
talking
Akims
about
are part of
like what
society.
Alifo what Alifo read earlier about the MPP perceived as being an account party, and so a strategy to put enough money.
It was rightly
perceived
as an account party
to control the banking sector. It has happened.
It was rightly
for Osafo Mafo's son to
become
the director at SNIT. It has happened. So people are pointing out, okay, if this is a fake propaganda document, why is it that all of these things that have been said in the document are happening?
It was rightly perceived as an account party because since 1992...
No, that's not in doubt.
When
but they are talking about the strategy to put someone who is non-account there. That seems to have played out. And even with that one, specifics were not mentioned. Specific names were not mentioned. But they just said, put a non-account there. And if you go along those lines, a non-account has now been put there. So these are some of the things that people are pointing to lend credence to this so-called.
And you are not even so-called saying about the deviation of the convention, from the convention of the party.
I was going to attend to it. You see? There is nothing, as you know, conventions, even if they are constitutional conventions, they are not laws. They are things that usually guide. But it doesn't mean people cannot depart from them.
Right.
Look at the Republican Party in the United States.
Nobody is saying they cannot depart.
Look at the Republican Party. Usually, unless you are a governor or a member of the Senate for a very long time, that the public will get to know you, there's no way you would ever take over the Republican Party in the United States, which is quite in existence longer than the MPP. But look at Donald Trump. He has broken all the conventions and took over the party for the second time. Not just the first time you think there might be a mistake.
They are scared of him.
Do you understand that? Yes.
They are scared
but
of him.
Look at the role Bawumia played since 2008 when he came to the political scene. Look at how he has changed the North. The NDC used to think that the North belongs to them. Look at the parliamentary seats that is in the northern region that we had. How they used to control the northern region. Can they say they control the northern region now?
Yeah,
no.
We do.
The landscape of the North has changed. And in fact, this coming election, they are going to have a huge humiliating defeat from what you can see what is going on in the North.
Really?
So Bawumia has contributed massively. Look at the role he has played in the MPP. Is that not enough to break any convention that they think was
What role has he played?
He has played a massive role in the electoral
It's just in your mind.
I've just told you, look at the way the North has changed. Something you used to call your second World Bank, you have lost it. You used to call Northern Region in particular your second
you think
World Bank. We are now almost 50-50.
And you think it's all about him?
Well,
you think it's all about him?
Well,
how about MPP? I understand MPP is supposed to be doing very well in Volta region. So is it about Bawumia?
Well,
So things are evolving. So things are evolving. I'm just trying to tell you that
really performing well.
No, well,
it means that as Ghanaians get to know you as a party.
Okay, so
they think there's a better
fine. Assume so. Even if it is so, then it's not about Bawumia.
Better alternative.
Fine. So it's not about Bawumia.
I believe.
Yeah. So I'm making the argument just because you mentioned Bawumia, not because I want to agree that we are not doing well. That's why I mentioned that. That's what people believe.
But the fact that look, it's most of the northern parts. Are you saying that it was because of Akufo-Addo that he got 100% in the northeast region?
100%
in the primaries.
Well,
are you saying it was because of Akufo-Addo?
Yeah. No.
They put in place an Akim plan in the north region.
Let me explain this to you. The fact that the establishment has brought him, and has made everybody to see that this is the person we have given our blessing to.
Yes.
It will just go down, trickle down to the delegates. So that is what happened.
So the so-called Akim Mafia would think that choosing a running mate from the Ashanti region will further their plans. Why is a running mate coming from the Ashanti region?
Does it matter?
That would further their plans.
So you think that they want to destroy the Ashanti region completely? They are also mindful. They are also mindful that they also know, and they know that Alan Trimati has already left the party.
Yes.
And so they know that their plan would fail if Bawumia doesn't become a president. For him to become a president, they have to make sure that they still have a good chunk of the votes from Ashanti region. That is the point.
And you think Bawumia and that of the running mate doesn't have a brain to see that if there is a plan and they are going to use that to implement the plan, this is improper.
No, whether it's improper or not, that's what I'm telling you, that Bawumia owes his whole political adventure to Nana Akufo-Addo.
Well,
whatever Nana Akufo-Addo asked him to do, he wouldn't have been the flag bearer of NPP had it not been Nana Akufo-Addo. It never would have happened.
Look,
so the man will be eternally grateful to Nana Akufo-Addo. So he will protect them.
Council, you are breaking your own rules. You said
what's the rule?
Well, you said I shouldn't interrupt you.
But you tend to me. You tend to me. You're asking questions.
I'll close my eyes when I'm talking to you.
No. If you tend to me, ask questions. I'll provide answers.
All right. Very well. I've allowed you to do your banter. So please land in a minute for me. Let's move on.
The point I'm making
I need to say something.
Akufo-Addo has done the vice president honor by picking him not once, not twice, but 4 times. It's only natural such a vice president would submit.
It's not 4. How can it be 4 times?
Oh, they've run it.
Well, for the 2008 elections, for the 2012 elections, and then for the 2016 elections.
4 times.
No, so
and then for the 2020
elections. Why is it 4 times
without winning?
For the 2020 elections.
So
2008, 2012, 2008.
Yes.
That's my party.
And the second one is
2012.
2012. The third one
2016.
Yes.
So what's
and then 2020.
Change.
No, but 2021 is.
Let me ask.
It's obvious. They were already. No, he couldn't have changed it after the first term and the president is my vice president. How would you change him?
No, but we've had.
Has it ever happened in the United States?
Where? No, but we've had. But President Rollins had Aka.
Yes,
and then later had Mills.
But that's
President Rollins had Aka and then later had Mills.
No. There was a problem. We all know the problem. Aka is from a different party, and then there was a fight.
Just to say.
Yes, but this what you are saying doesn't happen. It doesn't normally happen.
Let's move on.
In the United States,
hold on. One at a time. It's getting noisy.
No, Trump didn't change.
Okay, gentlemen, I have put off your mics. We're going for a short break. When we return, we'll get into the rest of the discussion. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in the next 1 minute.
It's portable, disposable, and always on hand when you need it. Flora disposable handkerchief fits in your pocket or bag, and it's always ready to come to the rescue. Sweat? No problem. Coughs and colds? Caught safely. Tears of joy or despair? Wiped away. Flora tissues in the form of disposable handkerchiefs, box tissue, toilet roll, multi-purpose towels, and table napkins plays an important role in personal, home, school, office, and commercial hygiene, minimizing the spread of infections and keeping us healthy. Flora tissues are made with premium tissue paper, so choose Flora tissues. To be a distributor, call 0243 033 033.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to take it as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the card prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest
star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Star 103.5 FM. No one comes close. We are simply the best.
That's right. You're still listening to Star 103.5 FM. We are simply the best. We're still on the Week in Review segment. We've got a few minutes before we wrap up the conversations that we have been having. We'll need to move on to the very next issue. I think we spent enough time on this so-called Ejapadia document. So let's move on to the issues with regard to the decision made by the Court of Appeal. Alifo, let me begin with you on this. The Court of Appeal acquitting and discharging Dr. Kessie Olatoforson.
Yes.
And the aftermath of it, the Attorney General says he will appeal. He says the decision is perverse, is inimical to the corruption fight and all of that. Let me hear what you've got to say about that.
Yes, okay, yeah. Well, I think the decision, the whole world, and for us to see how bad and evil-minded the Attorney General was, and at that point also when the lawyers of the accused persons filed for mistrial and for the case to be thrown out, I believe the trial judge should have also thrown the case out at that point. She didn't, and so the case went to the Court of Appeal. Now, the reaction of the Attorney General is just a reaction of a shameless Attorney General who has been trying to do anything possible, anything at all to jail one particular person. And this Attorney General, because of that, he even broke the ethics rules and went as far as tampering with the witness and trying to manufacture evidence for the witness, trying to even tell the witness to go and lie to a doctor to procure a medical report and come back to court and lie to the court. That is fraud. Attorney General asking somebody to even commit a fraud. So clearly, but you see, I need to explain what the whole submission of no case application is, and that issue is. It is not about establishing, you see, at the stage where the application was put in, it's not just for the court to find a prima facie case. That because a prima facie is just like a first instance, presumably a case has been made against you when you look at it. Then. So we need further information for us to see if the case that was made against you was not proper or not.
Yeah.
It's not that. You see, what actually happens at that stage is that when in criminal trials, the prosecution is the one that goes first. The prosecution would parade all of its witnesses, put in all the evidence it has, all the documents and everything. At the end of the prosecution's case, they tell the court that we rest our case. At that stage, if nothing else is done, nobody else speaks, the defendant does not speak, the court should be able to say that all that the prosecution has put in is sufficient enough for me to jail or to imprison the defendant, the accused person. If there's a little doubt in their case at that point, it means they have not proven their case.
Because you must prove beyond reasonable
doubt. And that proof should happen at the end of your case, not when the defendants or the accused persons come in and open their defense.
Right.
Yes, that is why in U.S. it's very clear. It's more understandable in U.S. because the submission of no case is mandatory that the accused person or defendants must do it. You have to do it because at that stage, because in U.S. in criminal trials, the defendants can decide not to speak at all. We won't call any witness. We won't do anything. I don't want to speak. That's all. In fact, when they are arrested, and then they give them the warning, they call them Miranda warning.
You have the right to remain silent.
You have the right to a lawyer. If you say, no, I need a lawyer. If you don't even have money, the state will give you a lawyer.
Yeah.
At that stage, they can let the prosecution know that we are never going to we are never going to speak, we are not going to call any witness. And so you have to make your case. So when you make your case and you end your case, the only time the defense would be making any submission in court is to be cross-examining your witnesses. So after all of that, when you said, I'm done with my case, I've called all my witnesses, I put in all my evidence and everything, the court should be able to say that based on what you have given to us in court, we believe that the accused persons can be convicted and we are convicting the accused person. So if they cannot convict based on that, then it means that you have not made your case. That is the burden, that is the threshold. Everybody has to understand that. So the problem there is that in this particular case, I'll give you one example. One of the allegations the Attorney General made was that the minority leader, who was a deputy finance minister at the time, didn't have the authorization of his boss to write to the Bank of Ghana to establish the letter of credit. But the Attorney General didn't adduce any evidence to show that indeed he didn't have the authorization. He didn't call Setekpe. He didn't call anybody from the finance ministry to come and show that indeed the deputy attorney general did not have the authorization. So that issue was not proved. That element was left hanging. So how can you say that you have proven you have put in all the evidence and everything, so you have discharged the burden? So at that point, what they were waiting for is that, in fact, Setekpe was a witness in the matter, but he was called by the accused person, not the prosecution.
Yeah.
Because if you want to establish that the man did not have the authorization of his boss, then you have to put in evidence. You have to tell us why you believe so.
But the prosecution also had chance to cross-examine him.
No, but what I'm saying, how about if Honorable Atofosin decided not to speak, decided not to call even Setekpe? So how would that issue be proved? It means that they are pushing that burden, and that was one of the points the Court of Appeal made, the judgment made. Yeah. They are pushing that burden on him to show that, he had that authorization, when you are the one that alleged that he didn't have, and so you have to prove to the court that he didn't have. So they didn't even do that. So clearly at that stage where they have put in all the evidence and testimony and everything, at that stage they have not discharged the burden beyond reasonable doubt. There were doubts. So because of those doubts, the court could have thrown the case out and said that, well, yeah, if
but
it is just...
It's not at that stage used beyond reasonable doubt.
No.
It's not at the stage of determine whether there is a case to answer.
No, that is what I'm saying. That you see, yes. we are mistaking the burden of a prima facie, the determination of prima facie.
But that's why you are mistaken now.
It's
not at that stage. Beyond reasonable doubt.
It is not. It is if it is the jurisprudence of this country.
Yes, the jurisprudence of this country.
Yes, but I'm saying that. But it is a common law.
But we are speaking to this issue.
No, but yes, how would you determine whether?
Hold on, counsels. We are discussing this within the context of our very own jurisprudence.
That's what
Ghana.
we are doing.
Yes, but our jurisprudence, you see, the thing is.
Yeah, so let's stick to what the Court of Appeal judges.
This is also a common law, the criminal procedure. Most of the principles and the procedures in the criminal jurisprudence is also based on the common law. You understand? It's based on the common law. It's just like what happens in UK, US, and everywhere. Yes, and I am saying that, you see, we cannot force accused persons to speak in court or to open their defense. So if we are misapplying the rules, then we have to look at the rules again. Because you see, the point is that if you are supposed to make your case, you are supposed to make your case after you put in all your evidence and everything. So at that stage, when it is only at that stage that they will say that, well, you have made some case, so we have to let the other person come in so that we get more information to see whether we can convict the person or not, then it is wrong. It is wrong. That is so. If that is what we are doing here, since I came, I went to law school in US. I want to lower my voice so that it shouldn't look like I'm trying to advertise that to everybody. But I know what. And then since I came to this country, I have been doing criminal. In fact, I have my foundation is called Help Law Ghana. It's criminal I've been doing, but it's free job, legally, trying to help most of these people who do not have lawyers. So I know, and I am saying that I have seen the rules having been misapplied over and over and over again. I'm saying that at the time the prosecution finishes its case, the prosecution should not be expecting that. You see, that is what happened even in the civil case, in the election petition case. What happened in the election petition case, the recent one, was that everybody was expecting, or at least the petitioners, NDC and the Chatuchika, they were expecting that the
cross-examine
Jim Mensah and for certain information to come out.
Yeah.
And if that information to come out, then it will help their case. And then Jim Mensah, even after filing witness statement, electing that she would actually testify and everything, and they said no. So the court should only evaluate what they have put in, the petitioner have put in, without us even opening our defense. You see, so that is it. Because at the time, at the end of your case, you should have proven, you should have gone beyond the threshold for the court to say that, well, if the defendant decide not to speak at all, we can still jail them. But in this case, they cannot be jailed. They cannot be convicted because there were things that they have alleged that they were not able to prove, and they were waiting for the defendants to come and call. So assuming that Ato Forson did not call Mr. Setekwe to come and testify that indeed he authorized him, how would the court determine that issue? He will say that the court will say that, well, that issue, the Attorney General was not able to prove it, and so based on that, would they be convicted or not?
Okay.
So clearly you would see that there are loopholes, and then the court should have been bold enough at that stage to throw out the case.
All right.
But because there was a plan and the Attorney General was already speaking to the plan already, he told us the motive. Everybody knew the motive of the prosecution. He said it, and it came out on the tape. None of them is talking about that, and he also will not talk about all the things that Attorney General did, which was revealed on the audio.
All right, Shah, let me come to you now. Next, before I come finally to Mr. Jantua.
Thank you. Yes. I'm glad you asked this particular question. His closing remarks is what I would like to start. Thinking that there is a motive, and the motive is the main reason why the Attorney General is bringing the case. It's quite misleading.
There's political
persecution. There's a political persecution. I've already listened to their director of legal affairs. When I met him on Metro, he was pushing similar ideas that there was a motive. And one of it, he put it down to the fact that Ato Forson began to talk about opposition to E-levy. And that was when they forcefully tried to interview him and to charge him. The second motive he put across is a claim that Akufo-Addo's daughter and the son-in-law wanted a similar contract in ambulances. And I think these things is inappropriate. And it's actually saddened me that a prosecution by the Attorney General is seen to be Attorney General versus the whole of NDC, instead of the Attorney General versus a likely corporate who happened to be a member of the NDC. If we run Ghana that way, that is quite sad. For me, typically, he said he has practiced in the United States. I practice in Britain. I'm called to the bar in England and Wales at Lincoln's Inn, as well as the Ghana bar. And if you look at Ghana, our laws in Ghana, they are much more closer to Britain than any other country. Though Canada and the United States, they are all part of the Commonwealth. And it's unfortunate he's no more here, because I will mention that the standard that he said they used was actually mistaken. You see, typically in a criminal procedure, the prosecution, to make a decision as to whether to take a case to court or not, we use two tests. Those tests might be called different names, but typically we have the evidential test and the public interest test that the prosecution would need to use to determine whether a case should go to court or not. It has nothing to do with political motive. And that is why we go...
reasonable doubt.
No, I will come to that. That's why we use the evidential test. Is there enough evidence in a criminal trial such that if you take somebody to court, those evidence can be put together to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the individual actually did commit it? If the answer is yes, it's not good enough to go to court. The next test would be, is it in the public interest to go to court? And from what they allege he has done, causing financial loss to the state to the tune of, I think, 3.37 million. 2.37 million euros.
Yeah.
Yes, of taxpayers' money. This is in fact, it is in the public interest to take such an individual to court. This is taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
As a taxpayer, I have a social contract with the state, saying that the state would take money from me and other fellow citizens, and such money we expect the state would apply it appropriately to good use.
But if the state,
for the benefits of Ghanaians.
But if the state believes that, the state would have to prove that beyond reasonable doubt.
I'm coming to that.
And even in taking this case to courts,
I will
have
come
to be established.
And that is why
properly.
I said, so having with this colossal amount of money involved and a public officer deliberately wasting it, it will be in the public interest to charge the individual.
Yes.
And this is for this reason I believe the two tests was met. There was no motive
the court
behind
of appeal believes otherwise.
I will come to explain that. So now, having taken him to the High Court, he wasn't the only one who was taken to the High Court. There were 3 individuals.
Yeah.
And as I talk about the 2 tests, you have to continuously review the 2 tests. Is there still enough evidence to continue with the case? And is it still in the public interest to continue with the prosecution? And this was the very reason why the Attorney General discontinued the prosecution of the second accused. The gentleman from the Ministry of Health was let out because he was seriously sick.
Yeah.
In that instant, it will not be in the public interest to continue to drag a sick man to court or try him his absence. It will not be in the public interest. This further tells you that there was no motive behind it. It was purely based on these 2 particular tests.
Okay.
If there was a motive behind it, the Attorney General wouldn't have entered nolle prosecution for the second accused.
All right.
Now, having gone to the High Court, and it is the prosecution duty to present the evidence to support the alleged facts. It is his job. But the test used here is not beyond reasonable doubt, contrary to what counsel was talking about, Counsel Alifo. No, it is not beyond reasonable doubt. In the United States, it is not beyond reasonable doubt. Submission of no case to answer, the test is not beyond reasonable doubt. The Ghanaian law as we have it is borrowed from the English case of Al versus Gibraltar. In Al versus Gibraltar, the test is that taking the prosecution evidence to the highest level, is there likelihood that the individual accused can be convicted? If the answer is yes, the test is met. This test doesn't mean there will not be errors. There could be mistakes. There could be few problems.
So you also, in a sense, you also don't agree with the Court of Appeal's decision?
No, I don't agree with it. And that was why the High Court judge, who is also a member of the Court of Appeal, she's a Court of Appeal judge,
yeah,
but he
with
was
additional
sitting
responsibility,
in the case as part of additional responsibility he has undertaken. He agrees with the Attorney General that there is a case to answer. And then ask them to open their defense. And I believe that was correct decision.
Okay, all right.
Now, it's been taken to the Court of Appeal.
I need to come to Mr. Jantua now. Yes.
Okay.
It's been taken to the Court of Appeal.
It's been taken to the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal by 2-1 majority disagrees.
Yes.
But it's important to remember that it is now 2 members of Court of Appeal who also agree that there is case to answer, even though one of them was sitting in the High Court. So I think it's a split decision. And it is actually in the public interest. Well,
2-1.
No, what I'm saying, yes, technically it's 2-1.
No, yes,
but
we understand.
We understand. Saying there's a case
we understand. We understand where
so
you're coming from.
So it is in the public interest that the case actually get to the Supreme Court to make a final decision.
All right, very well. Mr. Jantua, let me come to you finally.
It was also
you have
in the public interest for the Attorney General not to go nolle prosequi on that second defendant, because that second defendant must have some evidence that could have contributed to the case.
The gentleman is also sick.
When sick people
but even in the judgment also, the Court of Appeal judges say that if anything, those are the Ministry of Health are the ones who really should be health responsible.
And that is why
the only person who was from the Ministry of Health was part of the accused people, was the gentleman who was sick, and they found the knowledge
So time is going.
Yes.
But anyway, Mr. Jantwa,
time is going.
Mr. Jantwa.
I would put my submission based on the appeals court ruling. Now, when you read the ruling, the crux of it, and I will read it, it says, it is in respect of the decision made by the trial judge. This is about the no claims. The trial judge, that we are called upon to review the record of appeal and determine whether the trial judge's refusal to uphold a submission of no case, called a direct verdict in some jurisdictions, is sustainable in law based on the evidence heard. That was the basis of why the appeal court was sitting. Now, when you read the ruling, they actually went through what should be done. What are some of the factors that should be considered when there is a no case brought forward? And what should be done when there is a case to answer for? Is all in the ruling. Read the ruling. Read the ruling. And they have proved why the trial judge should have looked at the no case. But let me come back. Look, some of the words used by the Attorney General, how he called, he described perverse, grossly unfair, proof all erroneous decision. I don't think he should have used that word, especially when he's leader of the bar. When President Akufo-Addo, when he went to court on the election thing in
the election petition 2012, yes.
When he was giving his speech, what did he say?
He says,
I do not agree.
I disagree with the court, but I respect it.
Did he use such words? And in law school, one of the things they teach you is that never go against the decision of the court. I lie?
I do disagree with you.
I lie.
The court is not beyond
they teach us.
I disagree.
They teach us.
No, I disagree.
They teach us. Well, you disagree because of where you stand.
Disagree. The courts are not beyond criticism.
Yes. So Mr. Johnson, just finish.
I'm not saying the court is not beyond criticism, but that is what they teach us. And if you look at the ruling and you go through the ruling, you will see they have
that
done.
Wasn't what I was taught.
Well, look.
Yes.
Look. If you go through the ruling shows you why they went a certain way and why they gave that decision. So far as I'm concerned, this case actually fell on its face when that tape was brought out. That is where it fell on its face. The involvement of the Attorney General and Japa. That's where it fell out. And even when you listen to the trial judge and what the trial judge, the verdict she gave in looking at the tape, and she said she listened to it 10 times. She actually suggested to the Attorney General, recuse yourself. For me, that is where it fell on his face. And that is where this case should have ended. But let me tell you something. This case hasn't ended. Because if it happens that the NDC come in 2024 or 2025, they are going to reopen this case again. On the other side of the case of the 34 million, in terms of maintenance and spare parts, they'll open it. It will bring this case up again. It will. So, let's take what the appeal court has said. The Attorney General says he's going to appeal. He's going to the Supreme Court to appeal. When you look at the ruling, I find it very difficult. How? Well, I'm not in the Supreme Court. So I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't know.
They will decide.
But they will decide. I believe that at this point, he should let sleeping dogs lie and leave it. This is what the court has said. Leave it and let's move on.
Okay. This is where we'll wrap up our discussions this morning here on the show. Gentlemen, I'm very grateful that you joined us in the studio. Ishaq Ibrahim is lead lecturer in human rights law at the UPSA School, Law School, a member of the MPP's communications team. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Eric Delanyo Alifo is a member of the NDC's legal team as well. We thank you for coming. And Mr. Kwame Jantwa, as always, the CPP man. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening to The Morning Star. My name is Lantam Papanko. Up next is The Zone. Keep on listening to Star. Have a great weekend.